Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As you come into the chat, be sure to drop your elephants, your crowns, your Christmas trees. Happy holidays to everyone that celebrates holidays. And if you don't, season's greetings, all that good stuff. We are doing our Tuesday TLC Takeover. We talk about some of your favorite shows on the TLC network, including 90 Day Fiancé, 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, and The Family Chantel, and 90 Day The Single Life. It's not available just yet. Season 2 is not available just yet on TLC. But if you have the Discovery Plus app, which is now also available in Canada, then you have been watching. They're already on episode 3 of the second season of 90 Day The Single Life, and it's good. So good. But before we get into that, let me just see where you guys are watching from. Shout out to everyone that's in the chat already. Happy Hanukkah to you too, Mama B5. What's going on, everyone? Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And be sure to share this on your social media. We are also live on Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Twitter, Twitch at The Kempire, and of course, we're live on TikTok as well. Florida's in the building. What's going on? I appreciate you all being here for our midday recap, Tuesday TLC Takeover. Don't forget, though, guys, I will be live again later this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern talking about the Jen Shah documentary. That's on Hulu right now. So if you haven't watched it, be sure to watch it so you're prepared for later today's recap of that. And also at 2 p.m. Eastern today, I will be live with Up and Adam and Down with Jason on Up and Adam's channel to talk about 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. I had to. There is no way I could. We started talking about 90 Day Fiancé together The Other Way, and we've been invested. And we finally got some weddings this week. But we'll get into that in just a second. Before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about the Family Chantel. So as I said to you before, I've been following the Family Chantel since season 1. Well, even before that, I was following, I was about to call Miguel, Pedro and Chantel's relationship since they were on 90 Day Fiancé. And they went through a lot of ups and downs. And season 1 and season 2 of the show were really, really good. Really, really good. In ways I didn't expect it to be good. And season 3 started off slow for me. And some people are like, oh, I'm behind. And I said, look, I don't care if you're behind. Start from last week's episode, because that for me is where the season begins. The season of the Family Chantel begins last week. Last week's episode was so good. But this week's episode, why was I in my bed tearing? Like, what is happening right now? Pedro, you have my heart. Pedro, you have my heart. Pedro is going through, and you know what it is? It's because I know that this is real. I know that what Pedro is going through is real. Pedro, a lot of the times, at least last season, really wasn't, the focus in regards to Chantel and Pedro's story has always been on them and the drama between the families. And that's going to continue this season. But last season, they sort of had a break, and we got to see a more loving, goofy side of Pedro. But now Pedro, we learned last season that Pedro's mom was the other woman. Yeah, she was the other woman, and she had 2 kids by this married man. So this season, Pedro's on a journey to find out who his, what really happened. Like, who is my father? Or like, what is that relationship? Well, this week's episode, the mom, first of all, I felt bad for the mom in the instance because the conversation about their father came up in the car on their way to the grandmother's house. And I think there's so much more to than her just being the other woman, to her just knowing that he was married and still had another kid with him. I think it's deeper than that. I think she probably was heartbroken by that relationship, and she's not telling the kids. I feel like there's a wall up with her mom. Even when they're saying, well, this is what happened. This is what Dominican men do. No, I think there is a little bit of that. But I also think that something more happened that she's not willing to tell her kids. When Nicole, whose heart is as cold as ice, starts crying in the back, and then all of a sudden Pedro starts crying as he's driving the car. I said, I can't handle this. I can't handle this. I said, what is happening? Look, I'm about to cry now because it was such a real moment. I didn't expect a real, normally I don't love when we're in the DR with Pedro's family, because normally I'm like, I don't care about their story. because it's been kind of boring. I don't care about Alejandro and that whole storyline. But this storyline about their father, remember last season, I was really invested when we found out about the mother being the other woman. And then I was like, wait a second, what? And then this week's story, it was just like, because I know Pedro is really, really hurt. You're not, if Pedro is acting, he needs an award. He needs an award. But I felt it in that moment, especially when Nicole was in the backseat and all of a sudden she's sort of been very standoffish, very much like the mom in regards to her feelings. Oh, it is what it is about the father. But then she has a moment and she starts to tear up. That's when I broke. I was like, Pedro, are you going to cry? Because I'm crying already. Pedro starts crying. Well, no, he didn't really start crying. He didn't boo-hoo. But you could see the redness around his eyes. He was emotional. And the mom, like I said, I think the mom is holding back in regards to her emotions. I think this is years of protecting herself. I don't think it's just as it is what it is. So they get to the grandmother's house and this comes up again. Well, Alejandro comes up again. The grandmother's like, love is love. Look, this happens. And then they talk about Pedro's father and who he was. Did the grandmother know? And it's also cultural too. I know there are a lot of, cultures, not just in the Dominican culture, Jamaican culture too, where some of this is accepted. And they're like, men are going to be men. And then there was an accusation of Pedro's mom being a gold digger because the father used to come and bring gifts and anything that she wanted. But again, I think all of that is masking what's really happening, what really happened. And I wonder if we will get to the bottom of that in the coming weeks. But like I said, Pedro got emotional a few times. Last week and this week, he got emotional a few times. Because I think Pedro, and this is, if you have siblings and you have a family situation that's similar, you understand every sibling is going to react very differently to what happens in the parental relationships. Some kids are like, whatever, they shouldn't be together. Some kids are like, I want my parents to be together. Look, we're very unique individuals. And Pedro really wants to figure out what happened. In this episode, guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the Family Chantel. We also will be talking about 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, and 90 Day The Single Life. We got lots to talk about, guys. I hope you're on your lunch break. I hope you're on your lunch break because we have a lot to break down and I don't want to rush through any of it. Marsha, exactly. Lydia is so dismissive and selfish about the situation that she caused. I can't. I know it comes across that way, but there's a part of me that senses that there's more to this. And I need her to break down that wall so we can get to what it really is. Can we get to what it really is? Ryan says that Pedro is trying to break the cycle. Yeah, because at one point they're like, you don't have other girlfriends? No. Pedro's a stand-up guy, and I hope he doesn't fall for this is our culture, this is what I should do. Don't do it, Pedro. Don't do it. Because Chantel and Chantel's mom is not going to fall for it. They're not going to fall for it. This week, I'm not that interested in Winter and Ja's story. Ja kicks Winter out, supposedly. Ja kicks her out. River at one point says he's only mad because Ja ends up showing up at Karen's house. Karen's like, what? River says, oh, he just wants his babysitter back because she was raising Ja's daughter, Winter. Because, Ja has this religion, but it's not just religion. He also has these ideals that, I want you to call me Lord. Shout out to everyone that was in the comments last week when we did this recap. Because some of you are telling me the religion that Ja is in. Can y'all tell me this week about Lord? Is that common in that religion? Where you have to call your husband Lord? Well, Winter's like, I'm not having it. I'm done. He kicks her out, though. It's not like she left like, oh, I'm leaving you. No, he kicked her out and then shows up the next day at her house saying, I want closure. I want to talk about this. I love you. She's like, no, I'm done with you. Chantel's there, River's there, Karen's there. I love Karen. You know, Karen had to be a part of the thumbnail. It had nothing to do with this week's episode. That was from last week's episode. But Karen just she cracks me up. All the little things that Karen says throughout an episode. She likes to pretend that the family's tight knit, but the family is so far from tight knit. That's all in Karen's head. That's all in Karen's head. This side of the water, I was not interested in this week. I was not interested in what was going on with Chantel's family. I don't know what's going on. I think they just want to have some drama amongst the kids. We also get to meet River's girlfriend. They've been dating for a couple months, but we only seen them kiss for the first time a couple of episodes ago. I'm not sure of the timeline. We all say that River's girlfriend is just there for a come up to be on TV. Chantel is going to go to the Dominican Republic to be there for Pedro. I really think she should, honestly. I know it's for the show, but I really think that she should because Pedro is breaking down, the whole family situation. He's had several conversations with his mom about this situation. And everyone is just like, this is the way it is. This is our culture. Men are going to be men. This is what you're going to do. And that's how the toxic family situation happens. They start telling Pedro that's what he should be doing. So Pedro's like, Pinky Winky, I need you to come to the DR. So we see in the preview that Chantel invites Winter so she can get a break from all the drama that's going on with her to the DR. And then Karen invites herself. We know the entire family's going to go. Rightfully so. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are doing our Tuesday TLC Takeover, where we talk about some of your favorite shows on TLC and on Discovery Plus. We were just talking about the Family Chantel. If you enjoy content like that, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts if you're watching the replay of this in the comment section. Let's talk about 90 Day The Single Life. And we have to talk about 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way in just a second, but let me take a sip. And while I take a sip, let's go here. Look, until I get my mic over. Guys, it's the holidays. There are so many sales going on, including at the Coldest Water Bottle company. It's one of my favorite water bottles. Get your Coldest Water Bottle for your friends, family, yourself this holiday season for 10% off. Use the discount code KEMP10. All right. 90 Days of Single Life. Again, this is exclusive. The season 1 just aired on TLC. Season 2 is an exclusive to Discovery Plus. They're not paying me, so I don't think I'm getting any percentage of this. They are now airing episodes of season 2 of 90 Days Single Life. Do I have the hold on, y'all. I know I have the image somewhere. Yes, here it is. Let me just bring it in here. I'm just going to bring it here. Okay, so these are the cast of characters that are on 90 Day The Single Life. We got Debbie, we got Ascension, we got Big Ed in the middle. I'm glad he cut his hair though. We got Jennifer from Colombia. We've got Stephanie. Stephanie is so not likable. And neither is Natalie. Remember Natalie and Mike from 90 Day Fiancé and 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. She's now in Florida. Mike is probably still paying for her lifestyle down there. So 90 Day The Single Life are these people going on dates. Debbie finally, after how many years of not dating, Colty's mom, she's finally going out there and dating. And I feel so bad for Debbie. I like Debbie, to be honest with you. She's very likable during the show. I don't really love hearing about her sex life. She's almost 70 years old. Good for her. But she talked about the first time she's had sex in a very long time. And she says, this is so awkward. The man told her to be quiet during sex. And then we find out later, Colty does the same thing during sex. So cringy. So cringy. But 90 Days Single Life is enjoyable. Okay, Sinjin, I have to give it. I never really liked Sinjin and his wife's storyline on the show. However, I think it was last week's episode and this week's episode where it's so relatable if you are ever gone through a divorce. And I haven't gone through a divorce, but I can imagine that this is a very relatable story. It feels very real to me. They still live together. They still sleep with each other. And I don't mean just sleep in the same bed. They still have sex, but now they have to let the family know that it's done. They're getting a divorce and he's moving on his journey to be a single man. Remember, he's from South Africa and he's being sponsored not just by his wife, but also his wife's mom. Okay. I never really liked his wife so much so I don't even remember her name. You guys will remind me in the chat, but I really don't care. I really don't love Sinjin either. Jennifer, that's right below Debbie, she's in Colombia. She has been having this online relationship with Jesse. You remember Jesse, Darcy and Jesse? Jesse is from the Netherlands, but he was living in Russia. Supposedly he speaks all these different languages, and yet Spanish is not one of them. You remember Jennifer, she had that relationship with Tim, and we were like, is Tim? I love Tim on Pillow Talk, but Tim, I literally just said to myself, Tim, why don't you just come out the closet? Why are you in the closet? I don't know. He says that he's not. But based on how Jennifer and Jesse got together, he was like, oh my God. Jesse alluded that Tim was hyping him up in a way that was almost flirtatious. That's what Jesse said. So I was like, so Jesse was a big advocate for these two coming together. Jesse flies from Russia to Colombia to be with Jennifer, and it's awkward. First of all, Jesse has always been awkward. There's nothing very authentic about Jesse. I know a lot of Dutch men. Jesse is far from the cutest. There are so many cute Dutch men. I'm sorry. Y'all know I've been to Netherlands 4 times. You get off the plane, passport control, every single one of them. I'm like, is this where I'm coming to? So when I see Jesse on there representing the Netherlands, I'm like, okay, I hate to be mean, but he is far from what I've seen in the Netherlands and the guys that I know in the Netherlands. Anyways. Okay. So Jesse flies to Colombia. Jennifer has a secret. She's been dating and having sex with this other man, a fellow Colombian. And honestly, that guy, even though he has braces, look, at least he's working on his teeth. There's so many of... Okay. There are a lot of people out there. I get so hyped. There are a lot of people out there that should be concerned about their dental health that are not. So if you have braces and you're an adult, I appreciate you because you are taking care of your dental health. Okay? Just saying. But he seems sexy. He's like, he will never be able to satisfy you. This is what he tells Jennifer because Jennifer tells him about, Jesse. Jesse lands in Colombia. The first thing he does is hug her, but he doesn't kiss her. You've been talking to this woman for so long. She's wearing a very tight outfit. He doesn't even kiss her. I'm like, oh, Lord, here she go again with another Tim. Even though I don't think Jesse is, But it was awkward. He's like, I don't want to sleep with her at first. You know what Jesse's doing this for? He's doing this for another opportunity to be on TV. I know Jesse says that he has all these other businesses that he's doing. He's living in all these different countries. He's using this as an opportunity to be on TV, for them to pay for it, for him to be in another country. He knows all these languages, but Spanish isn't one. If I'm going to know multiple languages, I feel like he said he knows like 5. I don't remember how many languages he says he knows. I know English and Dutch are 2 of them, but Spanish is not one of them. I'm just saying. It was weird to me. He had a struggle. Look, and I get it. When I've gone to, Spanish-speaking countries, I've had a struggle too. But then I make it very clear. Sorry. Un poquito español. He makes it seem like he knows Spanish. He comes into the hotel. Hola, ¿cómo está? They start talking Spanish to him. He can't keep up. Jesse. They don't expect you, of all people, to speak Spanish. So, but Jesse is weird like that. Jesse, look, I'm not going to deny it though. The first episode of 90 Day the Single Life, where they were showing Jesse's butt multiple times, I was like, he has a nice butt. He does. The face, but the butt, Can we talk? Jennifer is like, why is he not kissing me? Jennifer, because you set yourself up again with another boy that comes, another, white boy. We'll just say it. Look, can we just say he's a white boy that comes, or yeah, that comes to Colombia and isn't interested in having sex with you. Really? They go back to his hotel room again, and not to say that they should have sex. I'm okay with them taking it slow, but if you're going to take it slow, at least kiss the girl. At least kiss the girl. This reminds me of Married at First Sight. Guys, we will be doing a Married at First Sight recap this week. Probably will be tomorrow evening. If you love Married at First Sight, we got to talk, because this kissing thing is reminding me of Mirla. I don't get it. I don't get how she felt. That's way too intimate. Yes, kissing is intimate, but it shouldn't take you weeks to kiss the person that you're dating. Am I wrong? Aisha says they're both users, and I get that. But I think Jennifer still felt like she was going to get some out of this. Like, when I say get some sex or something. It's a very awkward first interaction. It's even more awkward when Jesse puts on this sequin coat and tie. Yes, y'all. We're talking about 90 Day the Single Life on Discovery Plus, season 2. He comes out, they're going out to eat. And if you ever been out on a date where and I literally have been on, I probably like one of my last dates. No. Yeah, it wasn't my last. It was way before the pandemic. I went on a date and the person, rightfully so, they got the order wrong, but it's all how you deal with those situations, especially on a first date, that stands out to someone. And Jesse, in his sequins tie and jacket, he's doing this for TV. You're not wearing this for Jennifer. Jennifer is in jeans and a tee. So it was a little weird. But it's Jesse. Jesse is here for the cameras. But he gets a little hot and heated because first of all, he's trying to speak Spanish. He doesn't understand what the man is saying. At least utilize Jennifer to order what you need to order. They don't have red wine. He gets frustrated. His meat is raw. It's all about how you handle those situations. I know Jennifer's just like, what is happening here? This is their first meeting in person. Krista says, "Oh my God, I can't." Mirla left guilt. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Married at First Sight. You guys have been asking for months for me to talk about Married at First Sight. I will do that very, very soon. And Griffith says, Big Ed is all kind of weird. We didn't get any Big Ed, at least I only got to see episode 2. I started episode 3, but I didn't get to finish it because I was busy this morning. But this is our TLC, our Tuesday TLC takeover, guys. If you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your thoughts on the Family Chantel, 90 Day the Single Life, and 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. All right, let's just jump right on into, before we move on. So again, 90 Day the Single Life, Natalie going on this date with this man, Johnny. I was like, first of all, Natalie, she's not likable at all. Neither is Stephanie at the bottom. Stephanie and her make love to myself video. I was like, all right, I don't need the story this season from her. I'm not interested in the story from her. I don't mind Jesse and Jennifer, to be honest with you, because I know it's fake and phony, and they're it's going to be funny to laugh at, especially because it's going to be a love triangle. Big Ed, I could have did without Big Ed, to be honest with you. I could have did without Big Ed. We already know that he's engaged to that woman that just wants to be on TV too. Okay. Natalie and her date with Johnny, I don't know what was going on. She got her hair done. It felt like that. You paid money for that, lady? Okay. She goes to a modeling date with Johnny. This is their second date together. That's a weird second date, but okay. Johnny likes her though, so he's all into it. All right. You love it, I like it. Exactly. You love it, I like it. I don't love it. Let's move on. Let's talk about 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. I've been invested in this season because you guys know I love to travel. I love to see whoever's producing 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. You guys are doing a great job this season, because those couples last season that halfway through we were like, oh, this is boring. They have nothing. They really try to produce moments this season, and now we're already at the tell-all. I'm ready. Oh, Kim, you are saying what a lot of people have been saying online about Stephanie from 90 Day to Single Life. She says, Stephanie is phony. Is she gay this season or not? I don't know. She is pretending to be, at least. You know, a lot of people do not believe that Stephanie is gay. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but she's leaning in this season, but I'm not interested in Stephanie's storyline, to be honest with you. Jenna, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Portia did a 90 Day Fiancé on Bravo TV. That would be true if we didn't know that Simon really grew up here. Simon's papers are good, allegedly. Look, Diana says, I love traveling too. And that's why I love 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. It's because it literally takes us around the world, even in the middle of a pandemic. I'm not going to jump into Jenny and Sumit just yet. Let's start with some of the couples. First of all, we didn't talk about Ellie and Victor this week. I kind of felt like we didn't finish off their stories, but I guess last week, them getting engaged finished off their stories. They're together at the tell-all. So was she hiding this man in Washington? Because we all saw her at the pizza shop, but no one saw Victor. So Victor and Ellie are together at this tell-all. Steven and Alina aren't together though. But we already knew that. But Steven and Alina did get married this episode. Oh wait, I have a picture of Steven and Alina. Hold on. Here, is this it? Nope, that's the other one. Hold on. I have a picture of Steven and Alina. I gotta bring up the picture of Steven and Alina because they were a mess. Oh, here it is. Let me just bring it up here. Steven and Alina did get married. I did not believe that these two would actually get married, but getting married, as you guys already know, doesn't automatically mean that you're going to still be together. They do get married. He does get those feral cats and brings them to the wedding. She thought it was a great idea, but again, she's 20 years old. She wants to get married. She loves those cats too. The cats almost didn't make it in there. What's that cat animal? I know he put food in the cat carriers, but I don't know. That just felt like where's PETA? What does PETA have to say about Stephen V? Stephen with a V. Krista says the cats were epic. Stephanie says Stephen gives off creepy vibes. He does. Foxy says they got married. Yes, they did get married. Thank you, Diana, for the reminder. Guys, don't forget, we have almost 200 people watching. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel, and I appreciate everyone that's watching our Tuesday TLC Takeover. Don't forget, at 2 p.m. Eastern, I will be joining Up and Adam and Down with Jason on Up and Adam's channel to recap 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. We've been talking about it since the season began, so you know we have to talk. We don't even talk about it on text. Very briefly, just because we want a real fresh conversation when we go live. So stay tuned for that at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then at 5 p.m. Eastern, I will be going live again here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel to talk about the Jen Shah documentary. And if you missed it, yesterday I went live with Up and Adam and Down with Jason to talk about it, about that documentary as well. So be sure to check that out. All right. Brenda says, put food and water and a blanket in for the cat. Yeah, I think he only put food. I didn't see water or anything like that. I didn't see food. I only saw the food. I didn't see any, water. Okay. But they did get married. This was one couple, I've enjoyed Steven, his quirkiness. Would I be friends with him? No. I would not be friends with Steven. However, I liked his quirkiness for reality TV, but they do get married. She wears a beautiful traditional Turkish dress. It was awkward wedding as we suggested. When they started kissing and kept on kissing, I was like, all right, hold on. Do you think they consummated the marriage? Do you think they consummated the marriage? M. Griffith says Steven's got a haircut. Everyone kept on saying that they prefer Steven with the short hair. I was like, I could care less. Tracy says the cats were weird, but it was sweet. Alina was impressed by it. She really was. She really was. I wasn't sure how she was going to react, but she really was. She really wants to marry this man. Brenda says he's an idiot. Let me see what you guys are saying. Aisha says gross cat. I mean, it's not like it's their personal cats. It was cats off the street. But we thought that was a weird TLC moment. Of course, it was a TLC moment where there was an entire scene of Alina feeding and hanging out with the cats on the street. And we all were like, what the hell? And then Steven goes to hunt the cats down to bring certain cats, not just any old cat. He had to find a cow cat or all these different names. He climbed up into a tree. The producers are saying, you see them? The producers are the worst because they encourage this weird behavior because they're like, oh, this is going to be good TV. People are going to be talking about this. And here we are talking about this. Oh, Tracy said they scootily pooped for sure. Ew. Ew. Thank you, Mama Ellie. Yes. Come on, guys. Let's get those likes up. Let's get to 100 likes before we end this TLC, our Tuesday TLC takeover. Shout out to my moderators. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. I see you guys in here. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TeamKempire.com. I'm so excited for the holidays. As you can tell from my background, so many really great things are coming up. So stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of those surprises. So back to 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. Okay. We'll move on from Steven's wedding. Evelyn and Corey, they got married. They were already married, but they had the official ceremony. I'm not interested in this couple, and I say this every week. I really do believe she hates him. She says later to make this moment sweet, and I'm sure this was producer inclined. Say how cute he looks waiting down at the aisle, waiting for you. It was a beautiful wedding. She has anxiety because she doesn't want to get married, even though she's already married. Evelyn still hates him. She's in it for the money. Let's be honest. But Corey's friend, who invites himself, shows up. First of all, Corey, I know this was probably a pre-produced moment, but if this was a real moment, I would be like, get the F out of here. I told you you're not invited. First of all, he wouldn't even be my friend because he wants to sleep with Evelyn. I believe he has slept with Evelyn in the past. And then he decides to make a speech. The way that they cut and edited that speech for promo, it was sort of like, huh? But she laughs and says how sweet his speech was. I didn't think his speech was sweet. I felt it was highly inappropriate. And he really shouldn't have been there because I still believe this man wants to sleep with Evelyn. And they probably are sleeping together. Tracy says, oh my God, TLC better not bring them back. Happily ever after. Not. I'm tired of Evelyn and Corey's storyline. Please do not bring them back. Of course, they will be on the tell all. Let's see if it's the tell all or the tell nothing. But I feel this was a good season. I have to give it to TLC. We've had some bad seasons during the pandemic of 90 Day Fiancé, but 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, season 3 was good. It was definitely good. I don't care what. Fight me on it. Why am I getting so aggressive today? Oh, damn. Mama B5 says, Corey will be on 90 Days of Single Life. Probably. If he is on it, he's still going to be in Ecuador. He's not trying to leave Ecuador. I would rather see Corey. I mean, this is affecting his relationship with his family too. Not to say that doesn't happen when you decide to be with someone, but this is really affecting his relationship with his family. All right. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Who else do I want to talk? Oh, all right. So Ellie, Victor, we didn't get to see this week. Who else did we get to see this? Oh, we did get to see Ariela and Binny. Ariela and Binny, who are still not married. They're not married. They're engaged, of course. She is triggered by Ethiopia. She doesn't want to go back. The K1 visa attorney said to her, she should be there for the appointment. They probably won't let her in for the appointment, but it's a good look if she does go to this appointment. She decides to tell him, I don't want to go back to Ethiopia because she is so triggered by being in Ethiopia. Because, he apparently had all kinds of people through their home. Girl, no one's telling you to go back to the home. You should at least go to Ethiopia. I've said this week after week. I don't believe in the relationship between these two. I don't believe that they're in love with each other. But they try to make it seem like they're in love with each other this episode. They are together in the tell-all. So, we've heard reports that he's here in the States. I'm only giving a green light for them to be on 90 Day Fiancé. Maybe 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. I don't want to see 2 seasons of them, though. Not 2 more seasons of this couple. Because I do realize that he's going to come here in the States. I want to see the reunion with the other wife that he had, his ex-wife, and his other kid. I want to see that. I do want to see that. Thank you so much, Mama Ali, for the super chat. Kempire, today is the last day for this month's fundraiser. Please remind everyone. Thank you so much for the reminder, Mama Ali. Guys, don't forget, let me take this off because I don't want y'all thinking. Guys, don't forget, we are raising money in honor of National Native American Heritage Month for First Nations organization. Be sure to donate what you can. We are very close to reaching our goal of $1,000. Here every month we try to fundraise for some charity, and I thought this would be a perfect charity to raise money for. So if you can, please donate. You can check out some of our previous videos for direct links to that fundraiser. Thank you to everyone that donated already and that have shared the donation as well, the charity as well. All right. Thank you again, Mama Ali, for the reminder. I forgot today's the last day of November. Tomorrow is December 1st, y'all. December 1st. Excited because Christmas is upon us. And then Christmas happens and then Christmas goes. Then what? Look, then what? All right. Dinger in my TikTok chat says, I'm sick of her and her self-centeredness. Callie girl says she's got the baby and she's done. Speaking of Ariela, honestly, I have not been invested in their story. There have been lots of ups and downs. They're currently in Kenya, but he's going back to Ethiopia for his K1 visa interview. She's saying she's too triggered by Ethiopia, so she's not going back. I don't know if I believe that. I feel like that's a pre-produced moment. He somehow gets the K1 visa regardless of her being there. So who knows? Who knows? MEP says, how old is Ari? Because she was married for 10 years. I believe she's like 29. She was married very young. She might be 30 by now. She was married very young, and she was married to Leandro, who we also met earlier this season, who came to stay at her place, her ex-husband. What a weird situation. But let's get to the good stuff. Where should I start? I'm going to start with Kenny and Armando. Let's start with Kenny and Armando because I did tear up. Everybody was tearing up at that wedding. We got to see Kenny and Armando's wedding, but first of all, Kenny and Armando. Oh, no, that's not Kenny and Armando. Hold on, y'all. This was a beautiful wedding, and they had a people exclusive. I mean, they should. You know why? Because they did break against all odds in Mexico. They were one of the couples that really pushed the Mexican government to accept and approve gay marriages there. One of many, but I think partially because they were so public and this was on a public show that millions of people watch, helped move this couple. So Kenny and Armando did get married. They did share a kiss in front of the father. The father, though, and that's why I feel it was a pre-produced moment. Oh, is he coming to the wedding? Oh, is he going to accept this? Because even during the wedding, he tears up. He had his sunglasses on. He tears up. He later speaks and says, it literally, and that's why I feel like he's been accepted this relationship, because he's like, this is what it is. It doesn't matter. This is love. Sidebar. Kenny and Armando are going to, that's who I'm going to be. First of all, I'm going to steal their idea of how they came out. They both came out. There's no bride or groom. You know, normally the bride would walk down the aisle. They came out on the outer parts of the aisles of where the families were sitting and met each other at the altar because they took different paths in life. I said, ain't y'all romantic? Their vows were beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful wedding. And then I had to think to myself, this is not the sunset that, that Kenny wanted. But I think Kenny, let that go. It was almost sunset. I mean, it was a full day event. They looked great. They also had 3 outfit changes. That is so going to be me. If you're invited to my wedding, I will have probably 4 or 5 outfit changes. Maybe not in the same day. 3 on the night of the wedding. Then you have to have the brunch the next day. 2 outfit changes for that day. It was a beautiful wedding. I'm glad they got a People magazine exclusive. Look, they had, not them. Look, this was another outfit. They had another outfit when they were dancing on the dance floor. They had a beautiful wedding. Congratulations to Kenny and Armando. Not much to say besides their wedding was beautiful. Their vows were beautiful. The families coming together was beautiful. I thought it was a really nice situation, but it's not over. The tell-all, the conversation about adoption and his kids is going to come up. It's going to come up, but it was a beautiful wedding. It was a beautiful wedding. Congratulations to them. But that wasn't the wedding that I was like, because y'all know I've been talking about this couple. It feels like we've been talking about this couple for years. Jenny and Sumit finally get married. I don't think any of us expected them to really do it. But they finally get married. Jenny gets the wedding of her lifetime. And I have to give it to them. They looked amazing. I love that they matched, but I love an Indian wedding. I might have to marry an Indian man in order to get my Indian wedding. Or just invite me to an Indian wedding. That's probably the only wedding that I would ever want to go to. Amazing. Even though their wedding was very small, this was not your typical Indian wedding. Because Indian weddings are like 3 days, sometimes longer. They had a very small wedding. They didn't tell Sumit's family, even though, the family knew that this was going to happen. They didn't tell them it was happening. Sumit, as you know, last week had withdrew the wedding papers, the marriage papers. Of course, this week, he's like, I want to marry you. I'm over it. And immediately, Jenny's like, let's call the guy. They call the guy. The guy's just like, doot, 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 doot. Done. Okay. They start planning for the wedding. I have to give it to Jenny. She looked amazing. She looked amazing. They both looked amazing. Sumit, who is not he's not a looker, but he was a looker in his outfit. The colors, the jewelry, the traditions. I loved all the little traditions that they were doing in preparation for it. She met up with her friend. Sidebar, why wasn't her friend not invited? That's like her only friend. I thought that was weird. Because the friend was like, even though I'm not invited. But they had their own little thing the day before her wedding. Did some little henna tattoos, which I thought was beautiful. And then she got, I forgot what they called it, on her face and on her feet. I give it to Jenny for embracing the culture. I really do give it to her for that. But then preparing for the wedding, when Jenny started getting emotional, when she looked at herself in the mirror, I got emotional too. I said, because we know how long it took for Jenny to get to this place. And here we are. Jenny is getting married. She gets married. I wasn't sure. I thought Sumit might leave her at the altar. It was in the back of my mind. But when she's done getting dressed up and she goes to meet Sumit in their living room, and they both look at each other like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. That was another really beautiful moment. That was another beautiful. Oh yeah. Thank you, Laura, for reminding me. The Charles just said no one could go. All right. Yes, because they were going against what the astrologer originally said about, them getting married. They ended up calling the astrologer the night before. He said it's okay. And that's why Sumit felt okay with going through with the wedding. Okay. It was a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful wedding. At one point, they have to feed some of the, I forgot what they called them, but they're supposed to be like the wise elders and things like that. So they feed them. It's part of the tradition. At one point, Jenny's dress is so long, and Jenny's not used to walking in this dress. She knocks over one of the elders' food. I feel like, you know what, that probably would be me. In the middle of this is not something I'm used to. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then they have their wedding ceremony. It was a beautiful ceremony. I'm so happy for Jenny and Sumit. Finally, she gets her wedding. Finally, Jenny gets her wedding. She looked amazing. She was wearing all the traditional garb and jewelry. And I believe that jewelry is real. I believe that jewelry is real that she's wearing. Good for her. Did Jenny pay for this wedding? Without a doubt, Jenny paid for this wedding. It was a beautiful moment. I'm happy for Jenny. Congratulations to all the couples that got married. Next week will be the tell-all, and that will be a part of our Tuesday TLC Takeover. If you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your thoughts on the Family Chantel this week, 90 Day The Single Life, and 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. We have almost 200 people watching. Guys, be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. Have we reached at least 100 likes? Guys, we need 10 more likes. Let's get to 100 likes before we end this live. Shout out to everyone that sent in a super chat. Shout out to our moderators and our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. I appreciate you guys being here and being part of the conversation. Again, I'll be live with Up and Adam and Down with Jason. Sorry, y'all. Sucking on Lawson. Down with Jason on Up and Adam's channel to talk about 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then I will be live again here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel talking about Jen Shah's documentary, The Housewife and the Shah Shocker. I didn't expect that to be the title. But yeah, we will talk about that. Guys, and we hit 100 likes. Thank you again for everyone that tuned in. Don't forget, we do this every single Tuesday. And if there's a show on TLC that I should be watching, let me know. Tomorrow, more than likely, we will be doing the Married at First Sight recap of the entire season. So many of you have been hitting me up, asking me to talk about Married at First Sight. So stay tuned for that. That's coming definitely at least this week, if not the earliest, tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. If you watch Married at First Sight, subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you to everyone for being here. I appreciate you guys. Let's get out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Shout out to everyone watching on all multiple platforms. Thank you, TikTok.